In the darkest corner of the galaxy, a signal pulsed silently through the void. It was old. So old, in fact, that no one could understand how it still existed. It was strong, steady, and human. Inside the grand science hall of the Galactic Empire, alarms screamed. Scientists ran between glowing screens. The head researcher, Dravik Sol, stared at the signal's waveform. His hands shook. This can't be possible, he whispered. It's Earth-based. But Earth is gone, said his assistant. It was destroyed over 3,000 years ago. The records are clear. I know, Dravik replied, but this signal carries an ancient human code, a style of communication long extinct. The news traveled fast. Within hours, it reached the imperial throne. Emperor Zarkon, ruler of over 1,000 star systems, frowned deeply. Where is it coming from? He demanded. It originated beyond the dead nebula, my emperor, the general replied. And it is moving. Fast. How fast? Faster than anything we've ever recorded. Not even our hypercruisers can reach that speed. Zarkon leaned forward. And you're sure it's human? Yes, Emperor. 100%. The Emperor stood, his golden robes dragging behind him, his eyes narrowed. Earth was destroyed, burned, wiped clean. No humans survived. So, what then? Is coming back? No one had the answer. At the edge of the galaxy, in the cold silence of space, the signal continued. It wasn't just noise. It was a message. A simple one, repeating every hour. We are returning. We never stopped watching. All across the Empire, fear spread. Ships were recalled. Defenses were activated. And yet, no one could locate the exact source. Then it happened. On the fourth day, a deep space observatory picked up a visual. A single vessel, gray, old. Its hull was covered in scars and strange markings. It had no energy trail, no engine signature. Yet, it was moving at speeds no alien had ever seen. The image was sent to the Emperor's War Council. Silence filled the room. This ship, a general said slowly, it matches an ancient design. From Earth's golden age. From before, the collapse. Emperor Zarkon's face turned pale. Name it. The AI pulled the name from the archives. UES Horizon. The Horizon was a legend. A ship Earth had launched during its final days. It was meant to escape the dying solar system and find hope elsewhere. But it had vanished. No trace. No signal until now. In the capital city of Virex Prime, panic grew. People whispered of human ghosts, of revenge, of ancient curses. The Empire had destroyed Earth long ago, believing humans were a threat, too wild, too unpredictable, too dangerous. Now, something from that forgotten planet was coming back, and it was coming fast. At the military headquarters, commanders prepared defense fleets. 10,000 ships were placed on alert. Star cannons were powered, yet a strange problem appeared. Every ship that tried to scan the UES Horizon failed. Their systems overloaded, sensors melted. One ship even lost power completely, floating dead in space for hours. No weapons locked onto the vessel. It was like trying to target a ghost. Dravik Sol watched in horror as his screens flickered. The signal had changed. Now it wasn't just a message. It carried data, symbols, equations, star maps, technology. It was far beyond anything the Empire had ever seen. He turned to his assistant. This ship, it's not just alive. It has evolved. What do you mean? She asked. Dravik stepped back from the screen. It's been traveling for thousands of years, learning, absorbing, growing. This is not the same Earth ship that launched long ago. He looked up, his face pale. This is something else now. That night, the Horizon sent a direct message to the Galactic Empire. No encryption, no code, just clear, calm human words, translated by the ship's ancient AI. To the rulers of the stars, we are not here for war. We are not here for peace. We are here to finish what was started." The message ended. No more signals followed. On every world of the Empire, people stared at the sky. Fear touched even the strongest hearts, because deep down, they all knew. One truth: humanity was back, and nothing would ever be the same again. The throne room of the Galactic Empire was silent. Tall stone pillars stood like frozen guards. Lights flickered across the floor as giant screens showed images of the mysterious human ship, the UES Horizon. Emperor Zarkon sat on his high seat, his face stiff and unreadable. Around him stood warlords, generals, and scientists. None dared. "Speak first." Finally, the Emperor's voice cut through the silence. "Why is it still moving toward us?" General Krask stepped forward, armor shining under the cold lights. "We don't know, Your Majesty. It does not answer our warnings. It does not slow down, but it has made no attack either. Can we destroy it?" Dravik Sol, the head scientist, shook his head slowly. "We tried scanning it again. The signal was blocked. Every system that tried to touch it shut down." "Then send more ships," Zarkon snapped. "Stop that thing before it enters. The core systems." General Krask hesitated. "We sent 6 interceptors last night. They disappeared." "Destroyed?" "No. Gone. No explosions. No damage. 1 second they were there. Then nothing." Zarkon's eyes narrowed. "What kind of ship removes others without firing a single shot?" Dravik answered softly. "Something far beyond our understanding." Across the Empire, fear grew. Millions watched the broadcasts. The name Horizon spread like fire. People remembered stories, tales of humans who could not be controlled, who had challenged the old empires, who built ships with only hope and madness in their hearts. Now, one of those ships was back, and it was heading straight for the Empire's capital world, Virex Prime. Inside the Imperial Palace, Zarkon stood alone in his chamber, staring out at the stars. His reflection stared back at him from the glass. "We ended Earth," he said quietly. "We ended their kind." But something inside him trembled. He remembered the reports, the final war, the destruction of Earth, the screams, the resistance. Humans had fought until their last breath, and now one of them had returned. A machine beeped. A new message arrived, directly to the Emperor's private screen. It was short. "You took everything from us. Now we return the favor. Commander Asha Vance, UES Horizon." Zarkon froze. That name. It was in the records. She was a top human officer during Earth's last days. She had vanished with the Horizon during the final evacuation, but that was 3,000 years ago. The sky above Virex Prime changed. A strange ripple opened just beyond the planet's outer defense ring. It wasn't loud. It wasn't bright. It was quiet. But everyone watching knew something massive had arrived, floating in the void, like a forgotten god. The UES Horizon stood still. No lights blinked. No engines glowed. It looked like a ghost ship, dead metal floating in space. But every system on the planet screamed in warning. "This isn't normal," said Defense Commander Varn. He stood in the war control tower, his eyes locked on the strange object. "Nothing moves like that. Nothing travels like that." Around him, officers scrambled. All defense satellites are trying to lock on. "They can't! Weapons offline!" "Targeting systems rejecting input," Varn slammed his fist down. "Is it attacking?" "No, sir," a tech replied. "It's just watching." In the heart of the capital, Emperor Zarkon stood on his balcony. Far above, like a second moon, the horizon hovered. "It's here," he whispered. Beside him, his daughter Princess Zira spoke softly. "And it hasn't fired a single shot." Zarkon didn't answer. His face was pale. In all his years, in all the wars he had won, he had never faced an enemy that said nothing, and yet filled the air with fear. Inside the UES horizon, Commander Asha Vance watched the Empire's world rotate slowly below her. Cities blinked. With light, defense ships moved like insects, but none dared get too close. "They're afraid," the ship's AI said. "They should be," Asha replied. She didn't smile. Her voice was calm but cold. "Open channel," she ordered. A blue screen lit up. The AI blinked. "Broadcasting to all major channels." Asha stepped forward. Her voice was heard not just in the Emperor's chamber, but across every TV, every screen, every speaker in the Empire. "People of the Empire, you have forgotten us. You erased Earth. You erased humanity. But we were never gone. For 3,000 years we traveled the dark, and now we return. Not for peace, not for war. We return to remind you who we are." The signal ended. Silence returned. Then something strange happened. Every human-built structure across the galaxy, old ruins, lost outposts, even museums, suddenly powered up. Doors opened, lights blinked, forgotten machines came alive. The horizon had reawakened the past. In the Imperial Palace, scientists panicked. "Sir, all ancient human tech across the Empire just activated, even the ones we had locked away," Dravik. Sol stared at the holograms. "They left a trigger signal behind, like a key. And now it's turning everything back on." Zarkon's face was grim. They planned this. On Virex Prime's surface, near the mountain city of Velkar, something began to rise. The ground cracked. Dust flew. A massive human satellite array, long buried, began to lift. It had been dead for centuries. Now it hummed with energy. Crowds gathered. People stared. "They were here," someone whispered. "Long before us." Back in space, dozens of Empire warships slowly surrounded the horizon. None opened fire, but all weapons were ready. Inside his command cruiser, General Krask watched. The screens. "We are in position, my Emperor. Say the word, and we'll strike." Zarkon did not answer right away. Then he spoke, slowly. "No. We wait. One wrong move, and this entire system burns." Krask clenched his jaw. "But we look weak." "We look smart," Zarkon said. "This ship, it's not alone. I can feel it." He was right. Deep in the void, behind black stars in silent space, other signals began to rise. Ships, stations, things the Empire thought were gone forever. All human. They had all waited, all hidden, all connected to the horizon. And now, they were waking up. In the horizon's control room, Asha stood with her hand resting on the console. "They still don't understand," she whispered. "We're not here for revenge." The AI replied, "Then why are we here?" Asha's eyes were hard. "To show them what we've become." Far below, people on Virex Prime gathered in the streets. Fear turned into curiosity. Who were these humans? What had they survived? How did their ship still move? And most of all, what would they do next? The world held its breath. As the ghost from Earth floated above, silent, watching. The UES horizon was silent again. But below, on Virex Prime, chaos had begun. Across the cities, people gathered around holoscreens. News channels played the human broadcast again and again. Some were afraid, some were shocked, and some were curious. In one old district of the capital, a young boy named Lior watched the human woman speak. His grandmother sat beside him, whispering. "Your great-grandfather used to say Earth was real, that humans once ruled the stars." "But they said it was just a story," Lior replied. "Sometimes, child," she said softly, "truth becomes legend when people are afraid of it." In the Imperial archives buried under the palace, something strange happened. A door opened by itself. It had not moved in over 2,000 years. Inside the room was a stone tablet, covered in dust and human language. A hologram blinked on, triggered by the signal from the horizon. The image of a young woman appeared, human, calm, dressed in old Earth military gear. "If you're seeing this," the message said, "then Earth has returned. We do not seek control. We do not seek your gold, your planets, or your armies. We seek the truth. You erased us. You called us extinct. But we are still here. And we remember everything." The hologram ended. Then a countdown began. 90 hours. No one knew what would happen when it reached 0. Meanwhile, in the orbit above, Emperor Zarkon stared at the horizon. His advisors stood beside him, arguing. "We should attack now." "No, it's too risky. They're bluffing. Just one ship." Zarkon raised a hand. Silence. "They haven't attacked. That means they want something." He turned to his daughter, Princess Zira. "Find out what they left in the archives. Something is hidden. Something they want us to see." Zira nodded and left immediately. Inside the horizon, Commander Asha Vance sat alone in the observation chamber. Stars drifted slowly outside the window. The AI spoke again. "Signal received from the palace. They've opened the archive." "Good," Asha said. "Now they will start to remember." A small screen beside her lit up, showing dozens of forgotten human stations, satellites, and secret vaults waking up across the galaxy. Some held technology the Empire had never seen. Others held messages, stories, memories, truths. In the southern continent of Virex Prime, in the desert ruins of Kar Alun, scientists found something shocking: a buried city, deep under the sand. But the buildings were not alien, they were human. Carved into the stone was a line written in Old Earth language. "We came in peace. You answered with fire." Back in the palace archives, Princess Zira stood in front of the tablet. The hologram had vanished. The countdown showed 63 hours left. "Why return now?" she whispered. Suddenly, a second hologram appeared. This time it showed footage. Old war clips, hundreds of years old. Human ships being attacked by alien fleets, battles in space, human colonies burning, civilians running. And in one clip, she saw something that made her freeze. A younger version of her grandfather, Emperor Zarkon's father, giving orders to destroy a peaceful human colony. She turned pale. This was hidden from us. The truth had been buried. The Empire didn't just forget Earth, it had betrayed it. The humans had come offering peace, but the Empire, afraid of their strength and speed of growth, attacked first. The war that followed was deadly. But in the end, Earth disappeared, so the Empire told everyone the humans were gone. The galaxy moved on, but Earth never forgot. Now, the Empire stood on the edge of something huge. Not just war, but truth. On the horizon, Asha received a private signal from deep space, a voice, old and tired. "Commander Asha, the last signal point has activated. The final truth is ready." "Good," she replied. The AI asked, "What now?" "We wait," she said. "Let them dig their own guilt. The final message will break them." Back on Virex Prime, riots began. Not from fear, but from questions. Why did they lie? Did the humans really try to save us? Who started the war? Citizens began demanding answers. Some held up old Earth flags they found in museums. Others played human music from long ago. The horizon had not fired a shot, but it had shaken the Empire. Not with war, with truth. The countdown ticked. On 42 hours left, and something was still coming, something no one could stop. The countdown on the hologram ticked down to 41 hours, but the real shock came before it reached 40. Across the galaxy, from one end to the other, every major communication satellite suddenly paused. Civilian channels went silent. Military lines froze. Banking systems, traffic controls, orbital towers, all went dark for 3 full seconds, and then a single message played, a voice, calm, human, and full of pain. "This is Earth. You erased us. You called us primitive. But we remember what you did. And now, So will you. The message ended. The entire galaxy stared in silence. Then came the images. Thousands of hollow screens lit up, each one showing a different secret. Hidden war crimes, lies, empire experiments on human children, the bombing of peaceful colonies, orders from long-dead emperors to wipe out Earth's people. It was not just a signal, it was judgment. On Virex Prime, Emperor Zarkon watched in horror. His people were screaming outside the palace. Some were crying, others were angry. Who released this? He barked. His general shook his head. No one knows. It didn't come from the horizon. It came from everywhere. Zira entered the throne room, holding a small device. We found this in the palace walls, she said. Buried by the humans long ago. It activated when the horizon returned. The device glowed. It's a memory beacon, she whispered. Zarkon crushed it in anger, but it was too late. In the streets, old walls cracked open. Ancient statues fell. Hidden human technology, sealed long ago beneath cities, began to wake up. One statue of a famous alien war hero shattered, revealing an Earth soldier's broken armor beneath it. The people had been lied to for generations, and now the truth was rising from the dirt. On a planet far away, a pirate fleet received the signal. Their leader, a four-armed alien named Krath, stared at the message. I thought humans were gone, one of his officers replied. Seems they were only hiding. Krath grinned. Then I want their tech. He gave the order. Track the horizon. We'll take what they've got before the Empire does. Back on the UES horizon, Commander Asha Vance stood with her officers. They will come for us now, her second-in-command said. They were always going to come, Asha replied. Do. We attack first. Asha shook her head. No, the truth is the weapon. They'll destroy themselves trying to control it, the AI reported. 39 memory vaults activated. 23 enemy factions have gone silent. 5 major empires are now fighting internally. Commander Asha smiled. Good. Let the truth burn louder than war. In the deep ice caves of the moon Valis 9, a team of miners stumbled across a large metallic door. It opened on its own. Inside were rows of human pods, empty. Beside them, a screen playing the same message. We were here. We tried to help. You betrayed us. Now your people will learn. The miners ran. They knew. This was not just history. This was a return. On Virex Prime, Princess Zira entered a secret room beneath the palace, following the ancient blueprints she had found in the archives. At the center stood a tall human console. It glowed when she approached. A voice spoke. Not a recording, but live. Princess Zira, we know who you are. She froze. Who are you? She whispered. The voice replied. A friend of your mother. She tried to protect the humans, but she failed. Now it's your turn. Before she could reply, the voice cut off, and the console printed a single sentence. Meet us at the beacon star. She stared at it. A forgotten name. A dead star. But also, a place her mother once told her stories about. Was it real? And what would she find there? Outside the palace, the people were not silent anymore. They were chanting. Bring back the truth. Let Earth speak. No more lies. The horizon had not fired a single shot, but it had brought an empire to its knees with only a signal, and in the darkness of space, something older than the horizon began to move. Hidden deep inside the dying core of a collapsed star, a giant structure hummed back to life, a lost human city, floating inside the heart of death itself. Its signal activated, its engines glowed, its name, Eden Prime, Ark of Humanity. And it had just woken up. In the dead core of a collapsed star, the Ark of Humanity stirred for the first time in 3,000 years. Its engines were ancient but perfect. They hummed like thunder. Its outer shell was dark, blending into the shadows of space. But deep inside, light returned, one room at a time, and in its center sat something no one expected. Humans. Alive. Frozen. Waiting. There were thousands of them. Not old or decayed, each one sealed in perfect stasis. Scientists, warriors, engineers, leaders, the best of Earth, left behind for a time when the galaxy needed them most. That time had come. Commander Asha Vance stood on the bridge of the UES horizon, eyes fixed on the growing signal. "It's real," whispered her science officer. "The Ark exists." They watched as Eden Prime moved through the dead star like a ghost. Impossible. Silent. Massive. "We need to reach it before anyone else," Asha said, but she wasn't the only one watching. Across the stars, the pirate fleet of Krath had also seen it, and so had the Empire. In a high tower on Virex Prime, Emperor Zarkon gathered his generals. "This is worse than we feared," he said. "The Ark is no myth, and if the humans wake, we lose everything." He pointed to the holomap. "All ships, all firepower. We intercept the horizon, we destroy the Ark. No survivors." But Princess Zira, standing nearby, finally spoke. "My mother tried to stop this war before it began," she said quietly. "She warned you. You didn't listen." Zarkon's eyes narrowed. "You speak like a traitor." "I speak like someone who remembers the truth." Meanwhile, deep inside the Ark, one pod blinked blue. A woman opened her eyes. Her name, Dr. Mira Holt, chief engineer of Project Eden. She gasped, pulling herself out of the stasis bed. Lights flickered on. Machines woke up. The AI greeted her with calm words. "Welcome back, Dr. Holt. The galaxy is unstable. Humanity has been rediscovered." She staggered forward, weak but determined. "Is Commander Vance alive?" she asked. "Yes. She commands the UES horizon." "And the Empire?" "Preparing to destroy us again." Mira clenched her fists. "Then let's finish what we started." The horizon reached the edge of the dead star system. They saw Eden Prime, and for a moment, everyone on board went silent. It was beautiful, shaped like a massive wheel. It spun slowly, collecting light and energy. Giant solar wings extended from its sides. Towers taller than any city reached toward the stars. The AI spoke. "Eden Prime is preparing for connection. Docking sequence available." Commander Asha gave the order. "Prepare. A landing team, I want boots on that Ark." Krath's pirate fleet wasn't far behind. His ship, the Black Maw, raced through dark space. "Faster!" he shouted. "The tech on that thing is worth more than 10 empires." But as they neared Eden Prime, something unexpected happened. A warning shot, blazing blue and silent, flashed past their lead ship. One of their cruisers exploded. "What was that?" Krath shouted. His navigator shook in fear. "That wasn't from the horizon. It was from the Ark." As the horizon's landing team entered the Ark, they were greeted by Dr. Mira Holt. Commander Asha stared in shock. "You're alive." "So are many others," Mira said. "But the Ark didn't just carry people. It carried memories, secrets, and the last plans of old Earth." She handed Asha a data core. "This changes everything." Far away, Princess Zira escaped the Yaksh palace using a hidden tunnel once built by her mother. She carried a small sphere in her hand, the human beacon device she had found earlier. She activated it. A map lit up, pointing toward Eden Prime. Her ship took off silently. She was going to find the truth herself. In a hidden chamber on the Ark, old machines buzzed to life. One of them projected a large 3D map of the galaxy, with glowing red marks on several stars. "What are those?" asked Asha. Mira replied softly. "Those are human fallback stations. Each one contains technology and warnings. Some might even hold weapons the galaxy has never seen." "But why hide them?" "Because Earth knew the betrayal would come. This was always Plan B." Outside, the Empire's fleet began to arrive. Hundreds of ships, bombers, dreadnoughts, fighters, they surrounded the system. Zarkon's voice rang out in a galaxy-wide transmission. "This is your final warning, Horizon. And to the Ark, if you wake more humans, we will burn you. We ended Earth once, we will do it again." Asha looked at Mira. Mira replied calmly, "Let them come. This time, we're ready." The stars burned with tension. The Empire's fleet filled the skies around the dead star, surrounding Eden Prime like a predator circling its prey. On board the UES Horizon, Commander Asha stood tall. She stared at the screen showing over 200 enemy warships. "They're ready to attack," said her weapons officer. But Asha's eyes didn't blink. "So are we." Inside the Ark of Humanity, more stasis pods were opening. One by one, ancient. Warriors, scientists, and pilots returned. Their eyes told stories of an Earth long gone, but not forgotten. At the center of the command chamber, Dr. Mira Holt stood beside the ancient control console. "Power levels at maximum," she said. "Shields, weapons, AI, all systems green." The Ark was no longer asleep. It was awake, and it was angry. Suddenly, a signal burst through the system. Princess Zira's ship emerged from warp. "Commander Vance, this is Zira of the Virex Royal. Line. I have vital data. Proof the Empire lied to its own people about Earth. Let me aboard." There was silence for a moment. Then Asha replied, "Come, quickly." When Zira stepped onto Eden Prime, she carried a small sphere of light. "This," she said, holding it up, "is the truth." She placed the device on the table. It played an old human message. "To any who find this, we knew betrayal was coming. But Earth is not dead. We are only sleeping. And when we return, we will bring balance." Mira watched the message in silence. "This was left by Admiral Rain," she whispered. "He was the last to enter stasis. And now, it's our turn to finish his mission." Back outside, Emperor Zarkon gave the order. "Fire!" Hundreds of Empire ships opened fire at once. The skies lit up like fireworks. Missiles, energy blasts, plasma cannons, all heading straight for Eden Prime. But the Ark had waited 3,000 years for this, and it was ready. Massive energy shields covered its surface. Old but powerful planetary defense weapons turned and fired. Dozens of enemy ships were vaporized in seconds. The Ark's cannons roared. Its AI calculated every strike. "This is not war," the AI said calmly. "This is justice delayed." The Horizon joined the fight. Princess Zira sent a message to the people of the Empire. "My mother tried to make peace with Earth. They silenced her. They lied to us. But now I see. The humans were never the threat. We were." All across the Empire, citizens watched. Some turned off their weapons. Others began to question everything. Krath's pirate fleet, seeing the chaos, tried to flee. But as his flagship turned away, a massive beam from the Ark cut through space and shattered it. There was no escape. Not this time. Inside the Ark, Mira activated the Earth Protocol. "This will unlock the hidden stations across the galaxy," she explained. "Each one holds tech, history, and weapons Earth prepared just in case." "But are we ready to return?" Asha asked. Mira nodded. "We never left." As the battle reached its peak, something even stranger happened. One of the red stars marked on the map blinked to life. A signal came through, old Earth code. A voice crackled over the speaker. "This is Station Sigma 4. You're not alone. We've been waiting." Cheers erupted on the bridge. Earth had not just left the Ark behind. They had planted seeds all across the stars. With the Empire's fleet collapsing and more ancient stations waking up, Zarkon gave his final order. Retreat! But it was too late. His flagship took a direct hit and vanished in white light. The Empire's grip on the galaxy was broken. As calm returned to space, Eden Prime spun gently above the dead star, glowing with new life. On its bridge, Commander Asha, Dr. Mira, and Princess Zira stood side by side. Asha spoke first. Earth fell once, but not again. Mira looked out at the stars. The galaxy forgot us, but we never forgot the stars. Zira held the light sphere tightly. We're going to rebuild. Together. The final scene showed Earth, quiet and distant, its blue glow still shining. A voice echoed, an old recording. We were flesh and bone. We were dreamers. And we were warriors. The stars tried to bury us. But now, we rise. The battle was over. The Empire's fleet had been destroyed or scattered. The Ark of Humanity stood strong in the heart of Eden, Prime, glowing like a star reborn, but Earth's mission wasn't finished. Deep inside the Ark, Dr. Mira Holt stared at the ancient terminal. It had been quiet for 3,000 years. Now, it pulsed with bright blue light. Earth Protocol, Stage 2 unlocked. Commander Asha Vance stepped beside her. What is Stage 2? Mira turned slowly. Awakening Earth's hidden outposts. And restoring the network. Asha raised an eyebrow. Network? Mira smiled. You'll see. The command center filled with activity. Screens flashed across the walls. Dozens of red dots on the galaxy map turned blue, each one a long-lost Earth facility. Some are still active, Mira said. Others are sending distress signals. But one, she pointed at a bright pulsing star at the galaxy's edge, is broadcasting something new. What kind of signal? Asked Princess Zira. Mira looked at the screen. A human voice, and it saying the same thing again and again. They all leaned closer. The voice was calm and male. To the survivors of Earth, come home. We are waiting. Far across the galaxy, a station hidden inside a gas giant woke from hibernation. Deep inside, human scientists who had placed themselves in deep freeze centuries ago began to rise. One opened his eyes and whispered, "We're still alive." Elsewhere, on a desert world, a black pyramid buried under the sands cracked open. Robotic drones flew out carrying crystals, power cores, and ancient codes. They began to rebuild the nearby human colony that had been left in ruins. And at the edge of known space, something enormous moved inside a nebula cloud, a ship even larger than the Ark. Its engines hummed, and its lights turned on for the first time in 3,200 years. The ship's name blinked on screen. UES Titanus. Status, awake back on Eden Prime. Commander Asha gathered her senior team. We have a choice, she said. We can stay here, defend this world. Or we can follow the signal. Where will it lead? Asked her pilot. Home, Mira said softly. To where Earth's greatest secret is hidden. Zira stepped forward. Then I'm coming with you. They looked at her in surprise. My people need new leaders, honest ones. And I believe I'm not meant to rule from a throne. I'm meant to help rebuild a better galaxy. Asha smiled. Welcome to the crew. The Ark left Eden Prime behind. It entered dark space, flying toward the edge of the galactic map. Stars grew fewer, silence deeper. And then, the ship arrived. Before them floated a small blue planet, wrapped in rings of satellites and defense. Towers. Its land was cracked, its oceans low, but it was Earth. Not the Earth of memory, but Earth, still breathing. They descended slowly. As the Ark touched down on the soil of its original homeworld, every screen in the ship turned white. Then, a single line appeared. Welcome back, humanity awaits. They stepped out. The wind was still. The sky was orange. But the ground was alive. Small robots crawled over the rocks, cleaning, scanning, rebuilding. In the distance, a tower of glass and steel rose into the clouds. Lights blinked from its peak. A drone flew past, dropping fresh soil and seeds into broken earth. "It's like Earth's been preparing," said Asha. "No," Mira whispered. "Earth has been guiding us, even while we were lost." Suddenly, a large door opened in the mountain nearby, and from within stepped a man, old, with a beard like snow. But his eyes sparkled like stars. "You made it," he said. "Who are you?" asked Zira. The man smiled. "I am Elias Vance, Earth's last sentinel, commander of Titanus, and your ancestor." Asha's breath caught. "My great-grandfather?" He nodded. "We knew you would return, and now we rise. Together. Across." The stars, Earth's hidden bases blinked to life. Ships began to launch. Colonies started rebuilding. The Empire's lies faded into history. A new alliance was forming, one led by humans, but joined by other races who believed in freedom, truth, and balance. The final message echoed across the galaxy. "We are humanity. We do not forget. We do not run. We do not fall forever. We rise. And now, the stars belong to everyone." The end.